We're here today at Robinson Stadium at Watertown High School to preview the 2018 Watertown Purple Tigers with head coach Gavin Webster. Coach, good to have you with us again this season.
Good being here, Tom.
Coach, this is going into your 14th season here at Watertown High School, and I got to talk about that just a little bit and talk about the growth, the changes you've seen, the new stadium. I know coming from the old high school, but 14-year span, you've had a lot of success. Just talk about some of that, the changes and the changes in yourself that you've seen.
Well, you know, 14 years ago, I started in 2005. You know, took over a program that Coach Robinson got back on its feet. You know, we've had some ups and downs. You know, we started out pretty good, not where we wanted to be, and then had a few 3 or 4 good winning years, and then had a couple bumps in the road there, and then just started gradually getting better each year. You know, a lot of it, kids work hard. You know, they've always worked hard. You know, as far as the change moving from the old school to over here, it brought a lot of opportunity. You know, we're very fortunate to have something like this on the southeastern part of Wilson County. You know, it's going to bring some kids, but right now, pretty much the kids that we got as far as football, are the kids that's been going here. So I've seen a lot of change in this town. I've been here since '97. I've lived here, so I've seen a lot of change, growth. It just amazes me what happens over time, right, and how a community can change. And we got a great community that supports our football program. Absolutely. Here, and they love to come out on Friday nights. And I always tell opposing coaches, we're going to bring a good crowd also. So very proud of that. So really, a lot of that has not changed a whole lot. We've always had good support, whether we've had good years or winning years. Right. They've always followed us, and they follow athletics around here, whether it's football or basketball or softball or baseball. They follow.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, before we get into talking about this year's team, let's go back and reflect on last season just a little bit. A 9-win season last year, and I think surprised a lot of folks that maybe thought Watertown was going to have a down year. As you reflect back on last year, what are some of your thoughts about last year's team and how you can springboard that into this season?
I'm going to say about last year's team, it kind of surprised us too. When you look at that schedule, you go down through there and you look at it, and you think, well, this is where I think that we could be, possibly could be here, but never thought that we would get it 9. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to put it on last year's seniors, because I really didn't know how they was going to lead that football team, and didn't have a lot of them, but they come out and some of them stepped up and became leaders, and they really led that football team. Now, the juniors springboarded on that, and that's why we got a good senior class off of that. But the juniors followed them, got a heavy junior class, and it just, we won some close games. Those guys got to believe in them themselves, and when you can win close football games, that means a lot in your character and your fight. Right. And they just don't. When it gets tough there in the fourth quarter, they just don't lay down. Right. They were determined to get that win, and they were determined. To the second round of the playoffs when we got knocked out by Tyner. Played a great Tyner football team, and we had a shot, but they got us in the end.
Coach, when you look at this year's team, we'll start on offense. So many weapons, so many playmakers, and you're not sneaking up on anybody this year. Everybody's going to be looking at Watertown. Webster back at quarterback. Heath Prize is going to be out there. McClary's going to be out there. Playmakers all over the field. Talk about on the offensive side of the ball and just how potent you feel like that unit can be this year.
Well, we feel like we've got a lot of playmakers, and just, you got to get your playmakers of football, and that's the main thing, as far as football. We're fortunate to have those guys out there. We're fortunate to be heavy skilled, and we are. So just being able to sit down on Sundays and hey, we got to be able to get these, attack the defense this way, and got to get these guys a football. We got to spread the ball around, and you can spread the ball around, make the defense defend, the whole field. That helps out a whole lot. Now, our success is going to lie up front. It don't matter how well you can run the ball or throw the ball, but you got to be able to pass block, you got to be able to run block. So our success, we're going to lay it on those big hogs up front. Right. We got 4 returning starters out of the 5 last year, so that's pretty good. So, we'll see how we work and come along, and we're just a work in progress right now.
Now, an interview will air later during the football season. We talked to your son, Bryce Webster, the quarterback. I asked him this question. I'm going to ask it from the dad perspective. What's it like for you to be able to coach your son in football, and what are those discussions around the dinner table like each and every night?
Well, you know, we have some discussions. You know, we have some good moments and bad moments like father-son do. We butt heads. He's probably a lot like me. We butt heads a little bit, you know, so I see a lot of me in him, you know. But we have some good conversations. You know, he knows how I think. You know, he's like any typical teenager. Right? We try to talk. I know, Daddy. I know. You know, but we have some good conversations. You know, we get along great, and you know, it's great. You know, when it's all said and done, it's great being able to coach your son, and I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Let's talk about another player that's primed for a big senior year, and that's your Swiss Army knife, I call him, and Heath Prize, committed to Tennessee Tech this week. Talk about Heath, and I know his brother Seth played here. It just seems like a special family. Both those athletes have been special. Talk about what he's going to bring to the field and just what kind of player he is and what kind of person he is.
Well, you know, bottom line, Heath's a football player. You know, you don't have to coach him up a whole lot. You know, you got to coach him up a little bit, you know. But, I mean, as far as overall, he's just a football player. You know, offensively, he knows how to get open. He knows what we want, you know, and that's great when you don't have to coach a kid up a whole lot, you know. Anytime you don't have to coach them up a lot and they know what's going on, that helps out a whole lot. So he's just a natural football player. You know, defensively, he knows how to fly around and get to the football, so that's another good point, you know. So, you know, we're trying to get him in the best situation for him to be successful, and so that's kind of how we're going to approach this year with Heath.
Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. We talked offense just a little bit. Heath's going to be a big part of that, but I know you had some key losses there. Gene Wynn, who I started referring to as the water boy. He wore the number. It just seemed like he was all over the place. Talk about that side of the ball. Who's going to step up and how you feel about that side coming into the season?
Yeah, you know, Gene was great for us last year. He was one of the guys that stepped up for us and really, you know, made that defense go. But some guys that we're looking to fill that void would be we've got Tyler Shoemake, who is a senior. We're looking for him to come in there and help us out. Braxton Swan, a junior. Another junior, Gentry Wall. Senior, Daniel Bolden. Got a junior, A.J. Moody. So, you know, I'm rattling off about 4 or 5 names right there to try to help the void on Gene Wynn. And, of course, we lost Josh Tate, too, senior there. But those are the 2 big defensive linemen we lost. So, you know, we got about 5 or 6 guys that we can fill in right there. So, you know, just going to see who gets it done.
Right. Coach, again, don't look like that anyone's going to sneak up on Watertown, or Watertown's going to sneak up on anybody, as the target's kind of going to be on your back this year. But when you look at the region race this year, you know, everyone's looking at Trousdale County, but it's always typically a tough region race. What do you see from 4-2A this year?
You know, I'm probably like all other coaches. You know, Trousdale's got a lot of people returning. You know, it's you know, they won the region last year, so you know, obviously it's and didn't lose anybody, so obviously it's theirs to lose. So, you know, we may have a target on their back, but on our back, but you know, when it's all said and done, it's anybody's game on Friday night. So we're going to take each game week by week. You know, we're going to come out, we're going to fight. You know, teams are going to know when we left the field. You know, may the best man win. You know, we're going to do our best to try to win this thing, but we know that, you know, we know who's up top right now, and that's the way it is.
I'm going to kind of wrap this up with a twofold question here. What do you really like best about this team coming into the season? And if you want to put expectations, what do you think this team is capable of doing before the season's over?
What do I like best about this football team? They're fun to coach. I've been around these guys. You know, Bryce, you know, grew up with them. Mm-hmm. So I've been around them, pretty much all of them, since they've been kindergarten all the way up. So I've got to watch them grow up and watch them play junior pro together, watch them play junior high together, and now to be able to coach them their senior year, you know, and they're just, they're great young men. They've got, you know, good families that's raised them right, and they're just fun to be around, you know, fun to be around. And when you enjoy your seniors, you know, that's leading your football team, it's just a good group of young men. You know, where do I see us at the end of the year? You know, I think the sky's the limit with this football team. Now, we got to have a lot of things to happen.
Right.
You know, people are not going to come out, and just because we won 9 ball games last year, our target's going to be on our back. You know, we're going to have to fight for everything we're going to get. We're going to have to come ready to play on Friday night, and if we don't, you know, we're going to go home with that loss. So they could be as good as they want to be. It's just depending, you know, we got to get them prepared as coaches. They got to get themselves prepared, and you know, to see where it's at the end of the year.
All right. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck. We're looking forward to seeing the Purple Tigers this year. Of course, viewers on DTC3, you can watch Watertown, the season opener. They'll be at Gordonsville. We'll also have home games with Jackson County and Smith County on the schedule later in the season. But, of course, as always, we want to tell you to come out and enjoy the games in person under the Friday night lights. Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck this season.
Thank you, Tom.
Coach Gavin Webster joining us here for the Watertown Purple Tigers 2018 football preview for DTC Sports. I'm Tom Duggin.